The rapid beat of a heart echoed in the darkness, like the pulse of a heart held captive for far too long. Sarah stood in front of the mirror, eyes lost, lips trembling as she whispered, "I'm not crazy. I'm not a failure." The phone vibrated, illuminating with a message from Mike. "You're making things up to play the victim again. Gaslighting. A word you hear everywhere, from conversations on CNN to coffee shop tables with friends. But it's more than just a word. It's a smoldering fire that burns your soul, an invisible rope tying you tightly to a narcissist. This isn't a Hollywood horror movie filled with blood and screams. This is a real-life nightmare, quietly erasing your identity day by day without your awareness." Sarah was once a radiant woman, her smile bright as a summer sun, her dreams as vast as the American sky. But now she's just a faded shadow, shaped by Mike, her husband, a master narcissist, into someone who doubts everything. Did I really say that? Can I actually do this? Or am I just a burden? Have you ever felt this way? Told you're wrong, even when the truth is clear as day? Made to doubt your every breath? If so, listen closely, because today we shout together, gaslighting stops here. Not another second will you allow a narcissist to twist your reality. This is the stopping point, and the starting line to reclaim everything you've lost. Sarah sat in the living room holding a notebook packed with scribbles, plans for a big project she had been dreaming about for months. She smiled, her heart pounding with excitement. Then Mike walked in, his cold eyes scanning her like she was something disposable. "You really think you're smart enough to pull this off? I don't remember you ever mentioning it," he said, his voice calm but sharp like a knife. She froze. She had told him dozens of times, long nights at the kitchen table, moments when she shared her ideas with genuine excitement. But Mike just stood there, expressionless, as if her memories were nothing but a joke. Did I really say anything? Or am I just imagining it? Sarah wondered, her hands trembling as she set the notebook down. That is gaslighting, a narcissist's favorite weapon. It's not just a lie you can easily expose. It's an invisible blade cutting deep into your mind. You're wrong. You're crazy. You're nothing. They don't need to scream or punch walls. They just repeat those toxic words until you start believing you're useless, until your reality begins to unravel. Gaslighting is narcissistic abuse in its most subtle, insidious form. A narcissist doesn't want you dead. They want you alive, but only as a puppet in their hands. They plant seeds of doubt, water them with contempt, and wait for the day you strangle yourself with your own insecurity. Sarah started to think, maybe he's right, maybe I'm not good enough. But that's not the truth. That's the narcissist's curse, and today we're going to break it. Have you ever been made to question your memory, your ability, or your worth? Drop a comment below. Let me know you're out there so we can rise together and say, "No, I'm not crazy. I am enough." Sarah sat in the kitchen, holding a cup of cold coffee, her eyes distant. She remembered the first time she shared her dream of opening a small bakery, the smell of fresh pastries, the sound of customers laughing. She had told Mike about it, her eyes glowing with hope, but he just scoffed and said with a mocking tone, "You, running a business? Don't be ridiculous. You don't have the brains for that." She tried to push back. "But I used to manage finances for a company. I know how to run the numbers." Mike shrugged, giving her a cold look. "You're too sensitive. I was just giving you some honest feedback. Don't overreact." Sarah fell silent, the coffee in her hand suddenly heavy as lead. After that, she never spoke about the bakery again. Her dream suffocated by a single sentence. That was the first trace of gaslighting, invalidating your abilities, making you feel foolish even when you know you're capable. But it didn't stop there. Another time, Sarah brought up an argument from the night before. Mike had yelled at her for forgetting to buy milk. "I never did that," Mike said calmly. "You're just making things up to blame me again." Sarah was stunned. She remembered every word, every sound, but Mike kept repeating, "You're crazy, you're overreacting," until she started to question herself. Maybe I am wrong. This is the web of narcissistic abuse. Each strand subtle, fragile, but woven so tightly you can't escape. They deny reality, shift the blame, belittle you, and slowly convince you everything is your fault. They don't do this because they hate you. They do it because they need you to be small, weak, dependent. That's how a narcissist survives, by feeding off your energy to inflate their fragile ego. But today we tear that web apart. Recognizing the signs of gaslighting is the first step in saying enough. It's not your fault, it's their game, and you are no longer their prey. Sarah sat in the car, her hands gripping the steering wheel tightly, tears streaming down her face. She had just overheard Mike talking to his friends on the phone. She's always overreacting. Living with her is hell. I'm the victim here. She was stunned. Her, the one who had always tried to make everything perfect for him, now being painted as the villain in someone else's story. Sarah used to believe Mike loved her. He used to bring flowers, whisper sweet words like something out of a Hallmark movie. But now she saw the truth. That wasn't love. It was a trap. Mike didn't want a wife. He wanted an audience, a mirror to reflect his greatness, a scapegoat to make sure he always looked like the hero. A narcissist doesn't love you, they use you. They blame. I failed because you didn't help me prepare my presentation. They clip your wings. You really think you're capable of doing anything big? Don't flatter yourself. They cloud your vision with gaslighting so you never see the truth, that they are the insecure, fragile, hollow ones underneath the facade. One evening, Sarah found messages on Mike's phone, flirtatious texts to another woman, words far sweeter than anything he'd said to her in years. When she confronted him, he laughed. "You're being ridiculous. I was just joking. Besides, you're not even attractive enough for me to seriously cheat on you." Narcissistic abuse isn't just words. It's betrayal. It's psychological warfare. It's how they crush your self-worth to feel powerful. But here's the truth. They're not as powerful as you think. They're puppets of their own arrogance. And once you see it clearly, you can cut the strings. Who is the narcissist in your life? Comment their name, or just an X, and release that burden. Today, we name them, we see through the smoke, and we begin taking back control. Sarah stood in the quiet room, flipping through an old photo album. She used to be a vibrant woman, a radiant smile during a beach trip, eyes sparkling as she sang karaoke with her friends. But now, she looked at herself in the mirror, a stranger with slumped shoulders and hollow eyes, as if her soul had been drained. Marriage with Mike wasn't just about arguments. It was an invisible prison. She passed up promotions because he told her, "You're not good enough, just stay home and do the chores." She never got the dog she always dreamed of because he mocked her, "You can't even take care of yourself, how would you take care of a dog?" She stopped singing, the last little joy she had, because he sneered, "Listening to you is torture. Stop making a fool of yourself." Narcissistic abuse doesn't just steal your confidence. It robs you of your dreams, your time, and your true self. The truth. You're not a tool. You're solid gold. Your value does not depend on a narcissist's convenience. 5. What you say doesn't matter. He scrolled through his phone while she poured out her heart. The truth. Your voice is power. The world needs to hear it, and you will no longer stay silent. 6. No one else will ever love you but me. His sweet-sounding poison. The truth. You are lovable. First, by yourself, then by those who truly see and cherish your worth. 7. You're disgusting. He looked at her with contempt whenever she cried. The truth. They're projecting their emptiness. You are not their mirror. You're not a reflection of their insecurity. 8. I choose others over you. Mike flirted with others and blamed her for not being good enough. The truth. That's their weakness, not yours. You don't need validation from someone who betrays you. 9. You can't do anything. He mocked every dream, from the bakery to singing. The truth. You can do anything. You're stronger than they ever were. And today, you prove it. 10. I'm not wrong. You are. His final excuse when caught. The truth. They fear facing themselves. They're the ones who failed, not you, and today you stop carrying their shame. Sarah smashed each board, the sound of breaking glass echoing like a symphony of freedom. Each lie was a chain, and today she cut them all. Gaslighting ends here because truth has won. You are not a victim of narcissistic abuse, you are a warrior, and this is your victory. Sarah stood in front of the old house, suitcase in hand, the wind brushing through her hair like a whisper of freedom. She didn't look back. There was nothing left to hold her there. She walked away, and a few months later, she stood in her own little bakery, the smell of cinnamon filling the air, the laughter of customers echoing like the melody she had once dreamed of. One evening, she held a microphone at a karaoke bar, singing Sweet Home Alabama, with all the life she had once lost. Her voice rang out across the room. No fear, no shame, no one to mock her. She looked into the mirror and said loud and clear, "Gaslighting ends here." She took her life back. Not tomorrow, not next year, today. Now imagine yourself in that moment. You don't need to wait another second. Cook the meal you've always wanted to make, write the book the narcissist laughed at, sing your favorite song, or simply stand in front of a mirror and say, "I am enough." Gaslighting no longer has a place in your life. You are the one in control now, not them. Just like in the Shawshank Redemption, you don't need to break through walls to escape. You only need to walk through the door the narcissist tried to lock inside your mind. They're not stronger than you, they're just better at pretending. But today, you rip off that disguise and the world finally sees the real you. Strong, radiant, unstoppable. You are not a victim of narcissistic abuse. You are a warrior rising from the ashes of their destruction. Comment, "Gaslighting ends here" if you're ready to reclaim your life. Stand tall, live fully, because you are worth it, and no narcissist has the right to say otherwise. The final music swells, a victorious, powerful rhythm pulling you into a feeling of freedom that nothing can take away. Sarah stands on a hill, looking out at the wide-open sky, and you realize this isn't just her story, it's yours too. Gaslighting ends today.